Now, before we begin, I just have to give a simple explanation of the class trial again. Now, it's pretty simple. Everyone in the courtroom will discuss on who the killer is of the victim, and in this case that would be knockoff baby Chibi Sonic. And if they get it right, then only the killer gets punished. But if they get it wrong, then everyone else besides the killer gets punished. That's clear to everyone? Pretty simple. Anyway, let's just start. Okay, so what should we start about? I would start with the murder weapon. It seems the most mysterious. Yeah, I think if we can't tell the murder weapon, we won't be able to go any further. Yeah, well, that seems reasonable. King Dice, are you on board? Yeah, that's fine with me. Let's start. I think it's pretty obvious that the murder weapon was a blade, right? Yeah, it was the only thing resembling a murder weapon that we saw at the crime scene. Yeah, and plus it was the only thing that could leave that big of a wound. But there were 3 types of short swords and knives at the crime scene. So which one could it be? Obviously the one we found on top of the shelf with the body. No, that's wrong. The one we saw at the top of the shelf with the body didn't have any blood on it. So either it had been cleaned off and placed there, or it was never used to begin with. Okay then, but there were 2 other knives and swords. Which one could it be? It's most likely the one I found behind the bed sheets that had blood on it. It was the most out of sight, which would make sense, considering that you wouldn't want to leave a murder weapon just lying about on the ground. Yeah, but there is something that's been bothering me. And what's that, Lemmy? Why was the crime scene so high up? No one was able to reach it without some assistance. I can contradict that, wah. Oh, really? Let's see your argument, Wallaby. The crime scene was at the top of the shelf, wah. But the killer wouldn't necessarily need any assistance, wah. What do you mean? It took me and you combined to lift someone up there when we were investigating. I'm saying, wah, that the killer could have done it privately if the killer had wings, wah. And there's only one person that has wings. Perry, wah. No, that's wrong. Huh? What do you mean, wah? Perry was with us when we heard the sound in signifying the death. And no one hears fast enough to just go out of sight for a few milliseconds, set up an elaborate plan, and then come back soon after. Before we even realized they were gone, no less. Yeah, so I think the killer had to have some assistance or accomplice to get up there and kill NPC Sonic. It is quite easy to narrow down the killer, right? Whoa, Charles, you just completely switched the subject. Well, unlike you numbnuts, I want this trial done and over with. So I'm going to move it along way faster than the viewers need to. What? Never mind. There were a few people missing when we heard the death sound, right? Yeah. And those people would be myself, Kamek, Luigi, and knockoff baby Chibi Sonic. And plus, Lemmy also went missing after the first trial, so he could have been there too. Okay, let me hear your argument. There were 5 people missing at the meeting before the death was announced. And these people were myself, Kamek, Luigi, Lemmy, and knockoff baby Chibi Sonic. I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is that any of the 5 could be the killer, including the victim himself. Well, yeah, Wah, but that's also pointing fingers at you. You were also missing at the meeting, Wah. That is true, but no one here is fast enough to outrun knockoff baby Chibi Sonic and kill him. No, that's wrong. When you were trying to set up your security system a couple days ago, you volunteered to be with NPC Sonic. Yeah, Wah, he could have gone on his good side and killed him. That's not what I'm getting at, Waluigi. However, that is a possibility. What I'm getting at is that he would have to be somewhat fast, or at least as fast as knockoff baby Chibi Sonic. Meaning, he could be the killer, and because he would be fast enough. Huh, makes sense. Yeah. So, is he the killer? I don't think we can say that for sure. We need more evidence. Okay, I might. So, what are we discussing now? We're discussing who the killer is, like we've been doing this entire trial. Well, we're more or less trying to narrow it down. Yeah, well, I was in the kitchen, right? Yeah, me and Lemmy were in the kitchen at the time we heard the sound. Yeah, and I was alone. It does seem a bit suspicious, but I do have evidence. I was also alone in bedroom number 2. Wait a second, Mike. That was the last time I saw knockoff baby Chibi Sonic. And that must have been where you killed him. No, that's wrong. You may have seen knockoff baby Chibi Sonic in bedroom number 2, Mega Man. But his body was found in bedroom number 1. But that's halfway across the house, where? How was he able to move there in such a short amount of time? Remember, he was the fastest thing alive, which means he could probably get there in a span of like seconds. But this also proves that I'm not the killer, considering that I was much slower than him, as demonstrated before. Neither am I, or me. And that leaves the only 2 suspects, Charles and knockoff baby Chibi Sonic. Wah? Well, NBC Sonic's dead, so it's obvious who the killer is. Right? Well, things are going my way, so I do have to give one piece of evidence. Should have done that much earlier. Wait, hold on, wait a second. What way? Something about this trial feels off. What are you talking about, Mario? Everything just seems too convenient. Like, something was done to the case that made it seem harder to figure out. Yeah, it's probably this Metro Mario screwing with you. Yeah, he does seem like the type of guy to mess up a case, right? I will note that I will never mess with a case unless there is an important item that you are not available to see yet. Well, there could have been one this trial. I will also inform you that there were no important evidence that you are not supposed to see yet this case. Whatever. Oh, well, Charles might not be as fast as NBC Sonic, wah? So it might be that he committed suicide? No, it can't be it, because how would he tie himself up? And then stab himself with the knife multiple times to make that much blood, and then hide it before dying after tying himself up again. Or maybe there was a trap? Or maybe when he could have stabbed himself multiple times with the knife, and then go hide the knife and then tie himself up, then he died. That seems reasonable. Yeah, but it still doesn't explain how he got up there. Yeah, there must be something that we're not figuring out yet. What is this? This, my friend, is called Hangman's Gambit. Wait, what's this? Oh, it's just a minigame. Minigame? Why didn't we have these last time? I'm never telling. Anyway, you seem to be having trouble figuring out what to do. So, these lines, you're supposed to put words over them. I've already put an O and an H to give you a clue. Now, you can try right now. Alright. Okay, King Dice. Try a letter. Try T. Alright, T. Any other ones? R. Any other ones? Trap. Okay, A. P. Alright, now time for the other 3 lines, which are separate words. Alright, S. Correct. E. Alright. T. Set. Trap set. Okay, so what other words has an O and an H? Oh, I have an idea. Is it a B? Correctio. Once more, dice. Alright. Now, try an E. Alright, and that is the correct. F. Correct again. Alright, that's an F. R. Again, correct. H. Wait. Oh, hand. And, Trap set beforehand. I got it. Got what? The people who are missing at the, meeting, when the death was heard, couldn't be the only possibilities. What are you talking about? We already discussed that the death must have happened around 7:30. Yes, that's where it happened. But what if there was a trap set beforehand? Wait, what? That's inconceivable. I mean, Kamek, when you do think about it, it does kind of make sense. considering that it was way too complex for someone to do on a whim. Let's discuss about it. Think about it. If there was a trap set beforehand, that would explain the complexity and why it would be impossible for someone to do it at that time. Yeah, he does make a good point there, but what evidence is there for it? Well, first, the locations of the swords and knives were. Those were way too sporadic locations for someone to do at that exact time, or all in the other room were. I agree with that. So I think it's decided. There must have been a trap set beforehand. Oh, dang it, didn't you just open the door to literally everyone? Yeah, how are we gonna find the killer now? Literally anyone could have set up the trap. Yeah, and it's not like any of us have alibis last night. Yeah, how are we gonna solve it? I have an idea. Think about where everyone was sleeping last night. Based on that, we could realize the killer went. But anyone could have woken up while we weren't looking and committed a trap. Yeah, so location alibis don't matter that much. Well, let's go over it anyway. Me, Taz, and Perry and Charles were in bedroom number 1 awake. While I was sleeping in the drawers. And I was sleeping in the green room in bedroom number 1. I was in bedroom number 2, minding my own business. And I was in the kitchen with Lemmy and Luigi. I can attest to that. Yeah, Red Yoshi's definitely not the killer. So anyone in bedroom number 1 could have done it. That includes myself, King Dice, Perry, Taz, Kamek, Charles, and Waluigi, who was sleeping in the cabinets in the same room. No, that's wrong. Not any of us couldn't have done it. You, me, and Waluigi were all asleep. That just leaves Taz, Perry, Kamek, and Charles. Yeah, wah. But couldn't someone else just sneak into the room while they were all asleep? No, it would have been impossible, because if there were people awake, they would have definitely seen them do something suspicious and set up a trap for any suspect. Yeah, so it's safe to say that one of those 4 people could have been either an accomplice or a killer, which would explain how they were able to get up there, might. They could have got on each other's shoulders and climbed up the wire. Either that or Perry, who has wings and can fly, could just, fly them up there, one at a time. This is all way too confusing for me. Well, I'm an idiot, and even I'm able to get this. I didn't know you were such an idiot. Oh, shut up, Waluigi. It doesn't matter. King Dice, have you found any evidence on who of those 4 could have done it? Well, not the killer just yet, but I can find the accomplice. Who is it? The accomplice is... you!